We invited our good friend Mikey over for a pilot episode of our brand new podcast. You probably know him better as everyone's favourite theme park detective from the Miracle Detective Agency. We did have a couple of technical issues, bearing in mind it was the first one, but we had a fantastic chat about all sorts and we just had to release it for you all. So sit back and enjoy an hour with us and Mikey. So we've got Mikey, everyone's favourite theme park detective.
Is that confirmed?
Are you the only theme park detective?
I think everyone's a detective, really.
Or is there more?
We're definitely detectives.
Yeah,
we
I feel like I've slowly inducted people in, and it's just been a fun way of being like, this is my friend, they're a detective, and it's just all tied in, so I'm not the only one. Maybe I'm the favourite, but I don't know for sure.
Definitely the top dog.
Yeah, one at the top, I think.
I think
maybe Whitmore's top, I don't know. Maybe she's going to take over, I don't know. Like a mutiny.
You have to watch her.
Yeah.
So we really love your branding. We think it's something...
Thanks.
It's different to, what else is out there.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us more about it? Where's it come from?
You know what? It's not really come from anywhere specifically. Like, one of my favourite channels is Ordinary Adventures, and I like that they do a lot of park stuff, but it's not, like, specifically park. And that was always the plan, and I see loads of different, like, channels and stuff feel maybe park-based, which makes sense in terms of the name, because then it's like, you know very clearly what it's about, what they're doing, etc. And I really wanted to do something that was a bit more broad, a bit more generic, and could be moulded and work with whatever I wanted to do, because the plan was never just to do parks and stuff, it's to do loads of other bits. And so I just was coming up with loads of different really silly names that were just synonyms of Ordinary Adventures, and they're just cheesy and weren't quite working. And just one day I just was like, it was Miracle Noodles Detective Agency, and it was like mine and my ex's like part of our handles online. It's like Miracle Noodles, and then it was just Detective Agency. I was like, that's different, and that was it really. But I think what really picked up was I think it was around the start of the season last year, so in 2024, when my friend Becca was like, oh, you could like do like magnifying glass and like lean into that with like names and stuff, and then I already had like the logo and stuff there, but that's when it all like came together as such.
Hello. You're not meant to walk in front of the camera.
Oh, you need to stay over there, darling.
Interruption done. So yeah, it was. I just wanted like a sort of somewhat different name and look to everything, just something that stood out a bit more. I think in a way it probably hinders me a bit, because people are like, what is it? What are they investigating? What are they doing? So I think some people are confused, but I feel like in the long run, presuming there is a long run, I think it'll be better in that it won't be too niche, and then also it allows me to do more things.
Rather than just theme parks.
Yeah, and also it'll be more identifiable, like, oh, that's the detective stuff, as opposed to coaster this, coaster that, airtime this, etc.
I think that's what puts you apart from everyone else. Everyone is, like you said, coaster this or coaster that, whereas you're the Miracle Detective Agency, so like you said, you've got that more scope to do more different things. And one thing we really like about your channel is your branding. Like, it's so on point, and you just stay in character and with it the entire time.
A little too much. I was thinking about it today. I was like, how like in character do I stay? Because this is still kind of in the world of content and stuff. So, like before I said Detective Whitmore, so that's obviously my partner Sammy, and I'm like, do I say Detective Whitmore? Do I say Sammy? Like, where's the boundary of that? And even like all the stuff I do outside of that, I'm like, does that come into play, or do I kind of stick with character and branding? But I don't know.
I think
I appreciate the kind words though. It's always nice that people like it.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's tidy.
I was going to say, because like you said, it does actually fit in with everyone changes the name, don't they, for like spooky season. We've done it. I know that like a few people do it. It sort of fits with that, then it's just something you can roll with.
Yeah,
theme parks.
It's funny, because the more I've done it, the more I've like, oh, it can still work with whatever I want to do or whatever kind of video I want to do. So obviously cases are like on the day stuff. Evidence has been POVs. I was just recording stuff this morning, which is a sort of like, like mini essay question, why is this happening, sort of a thing, or whatever. And that's going to be an investigation. And then I want to do sort of reviews on stuff. So when I go to, spoiler alert, Efteling, that's a later question, in a few weeks, I want to do like maybe like a bit of a summary of the park, as a bit of a review of like my take on it, or even of like Dance Macabre, and that would then be a report. So there's lots of different sub sort of playlists or genres within the branding that'll still work in the branding.
Mhm.
And it's exciting. I wanted to try different video formats because what I've learned is the vlogs don't do as well.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely other stuff. I think like sort of your essay questions in the sense of like what Attraction Ideas do and Poseidon Entertainment and Mike for the Party, those sort of things do really well and they're really interesting. And I'm trying to think, I think anyone can do those sort of things, but the sort of what's the word? It's not POV. The USP, the unique selling point, is obviously is you as a person, but then also in those sort of question things, it's what's your question. I had one and I tried it on YouTube and other people have done it. I was like, oh yeah, that seems a bit obvious. But the other ones that I've done, they've not been as, I don't think they've been done. This one I'm working on at the moment might have been done a little bit, but then there's other ideas where I'm thinking that can be a bit more unique and that's going to be my take on things. And hopefully they'll do different, but I don't know. I need to try it, obviously.
I think it's different platforms as well. So you're mainly YouTube. You don't mess a lot with TikTok, Instagram, that kind of thing. Is it not your thing, or?
There's the focus is YouTube. Everything's shot for YouTube. It's all shot 16:9. It's all wide. I do make reels that go onto Instagram and TikTok, but they just tend to be like the intro of the YouTube video or snippets from that, and I'll frame it so it's good for like a 9:16 format. But I'm not shooting specifically for that. But then I did think for stuff like the reports I mentioned before, like I could do like a quick 60-second summary of like a report and that could go in it and stuff. So
because they tend to do quite well, don't they? The sort of shorts we found when we put shorts up, they do a lot better than.
I feel like attention spans are getting worse.
Definitely
because the shorts.
I mean, wait, what? No. Sorry. Oh, I had a prime chance there to be silly. Yeah, it's. I think TikTok. What I found, my TikTok reels will go further than what they will on Instagram.
Yeah.
And what I've learned, like I was chatting to Ben from Ben and Holly's Adventures, he was saying YouTube prefers it if you do long form or short form. He was saying if you do try and do both, it doesn't know what your audience really wants, I think was what he was saying. So try and focus on one. So I'm like, right, YouTube is long form content.
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram can be short form. And Instagram more so specifically is me doing photos and updates and that sort of things.
I think that's right. Like when we go on YouTube, we never put the short stuff on YouTube, are we? You go to your TikTok for that, or you go to your videos.
Yeah, we've dabbled around with it, but just looking at the start, I'd rather keep YouTube like long form. It's just so much nicer in it as a platform.
Yeah, I think so.
And I do prefer a long form video as much as it's nice just to scroll through some reels.
Oh, I always
do like
long
to
form.
sit down and watch a video.
The amount of times where I'll just have something on, even if I'm editing, I'll have other stuff in the background. And I'm at this point now where I realise if I want to watch something, YouTube's the go-to place.
Yep.
Which is crazy. Like the stuff that like Sammy and I both want to watch, but sometimes if it's more of like a drama thing, we're like, oh, I kind of need a bit more focus to like pay attention to it. For example, like we're both into like all the same stuff, which is great. But it makes it difficult because then I'm like, oh, I don't know when we're going to fit this into our schedules. Like Squid Game, we've watched one episode of season 2.
Really? We need to watch the rest. It's
right,
so good.
it's been on for like 2 months and we've just not got around to it.
I thought we were late to it.
I know.
So behind, but it's just our schedules and then trying to find it. Like the stuff I watch when I'm running on my treadmill in the morning, and I don't know if I like running, I think I just like that I'm watching TV. So like I'm watching Severance at the minute, I watched like Traitors whilst I was running, I watched The Devil's Game on Netflix, I'm going to start From on Monday. And that's because I've got the time to just not stand there, but run in the spot and watch it, and I can do it. But otherwise, I won't have a chance. And if I'm sat doing other stuff, or even if I'm doing the dishes or cooking or other bits of work, I might just have YouTube on for a bit.
Yeah.
Because it's informative, isn't it? It's so the more you use it, the better it is. The more tailored it is to you and what you're into. So mine is like parks, football stuff, and I think some cooking stuff from what like Sammy's been watching. But it's great, and there's just so much unique stuff out there. And it's informative as well, and it helps you plan like future trips and stuff. And like,
I think that's what we like it for if we're going to like new places. And just
we rarely watch TV these days.
Yeah, same.
We just watch YouTube on a night, don't we? We're either watching Coaster stuff.
And I think it's good for you as well, especially things like your POVs, like not being a big Coaster fan yourself. You can watch them and think, actually, I can do that, or I can't.
don't think it's a good or a bad thing.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I think it can be helpful, definitely.
It can be helpful, but then I think I dwell on
certain corners. And...
No, I think if I go to a park, I'll look at the POVs, and then that will either encourage me or put me off.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Before Summerfest, you watched the Wicker Man POV to death.
I did watch it to death.
He knew every element of that ride
I can
before
see
he
it
went
going
on it.
both ways though. Like it can either be like, you know exactly what's going on, you know what to expect, or it could just put you off more. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this bit or that bit.
Yeah.
Like I imagine it could work both ways.
And when I was on it, it was just totally different to what I thought anyway.
Yeah.
It
It's
didn't
never
really
the
work
same,
because
is it?
I don't remember a lot of it. The ride. I remember being in the state. I remember going to the lift hill.
Yeah.
And then the first drop just threw me. And all I remember from that, I don't remember going through Big Bob at all.
Oh, no.
I remember going around the bend and going, airtime! Okay.
Yeah.
And then all I remember is like the last drop and then being back in the station and Liam just being like,
And I missed
like,
the whole
how
thing.
the hell did he get on it? It was like, I probably want
It
to
was a
grey
big
out.
occasion though. It was
My brain
like,
was just like,
it was
you're
a
not going to
lot.
remember this.
Yeah.
But
Do you find, I'm looking this way because more coasters, do you find if you watch a POV of a coaster you've seen that you can feel it in your body?
Yes.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
I felt that before on that VR game we were playing, and I was like, I can feel my body like twisting into the
It's so
turns,
weird,
and I'm like,
VR.
I'm just sat here
So
doing
I
nothing.
always find it if I watch a POV of the Smiler, there's one loop on the Smiler that you just feel like you're going to stop, and then you sort of it's like slow motion. And every time I watch that POV, I'm in that moment, and
It's weird, isn't
It's
it?
really
It's weird how
weird.
our brains have like become accustomed to all these
Yeah,
different
definitely.
elements.
I
and
do the
stuff,
7 Mine Train all the time.
With what, sorry?
Mine Train.
Oh.
My favourite.
You got some new creds in Portland, though.
Yeah, I
Woo!
did. Nothing special.
You got
Cred's a cred in it, but
Farmyard Flyer.
Farmyard Flyer. I'll tell you what, that was like, because I've been on the Caterpillar ride, I'm like, Farmyard Flyer will be fine, and there's like a few more little dips in it. I'm like, oh, there we go.
Even the caterpillar there is bigger than the.
The caterpillar's weird because it's like a weird hybrid of bugs and animals, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it like a cat?
A
pillar.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the heck?
It's like
What
a
kind
weird
of
face on the front.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, I don't know. It's a bit messed up in it, really.
Well, talking of his fears, so my fear was scare mazes. So Doncaster Fear was my first ever scare.
Was it your
maze. My
first?
first ever.
I don't think I knew.
So we.
Oh no, I do. I think I do remember in the sense that you guys swap when it comes to scare attractions.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're fine and
He's
you're
Yeah,
not.
I'm fine.
So
That was only my
basically-
second, though, to be fair.
What was your first?
Alton
Oh,
Towers.
Scarefest.
But yeah.
So we got the invite to go down to
Yeah.
Doncaster, and I was like, brilliant. First ever invite.
Yeah, it was fun.
Booked
Yeah.
it off work, arranged a babysitter like months in advance. Just came today, and I was like, what have I done? Why am I doing this? But you know what? I loved it.
It was great.
so
It was
good.
so
And
fun.
I'm so glad it's back.
Yeah, there was a lot of worry for a bit, wasn't there? Because they
Yeah.
went dark on socials and were just like black images for every
Well, they
profile
posted
picture.
something and then deleted it. Did you see that?
I don't know.
So they went black and then they posted something and deleted it, and then they came back properly.
I think I missed that pre one then.
Yeah.
It was all a planning issue, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, there was some stuff from the local
Yeah.
council that there were people was not wanting them to carry on or something, and it was like genuinely out of the sort of smaller stuff I've done, that was by far one of the best events.
Are you going next year?
Yes.
What
No,
years?
maybe.
Maybe.
We're going this year.
This year, sorry.
I say that I've not actually finished the form off yet, so I need to do it. Last year we managed to do Tully's,
Yeah.
which is like a league of its own. We did Doncaster, and we managed to do Farmageddon as well over in Merseyside. I think it's
Oh.
I can't remember exactly where it was. That's always been really hyped up, and I grew up in like the northwest, so I knew of it quite well. But it just was not as good as I thought. And like there was this one bit where we were walking through this maze that was outside. It was one of those where like it's like a sort of fun farm sort of thing, one of those places, and they had like a wooden maze. So that was already there, and it was all really foggy, really atmospheric. It was done well. But then there was one point where I turned the corner, and there was like an actor there, and the best way I can describe it was she was just like not on the clock. She was just kind of like something. And there's like a really weird delay of it, and I was just like, "What are you doing? Like, you know, people are coming around. This is going to be like this for the next 3 hours." And it just was a bit naff in parts.
Oh, that's a shame.
There was
isn't it?
there was one maze. I can't remember. It was sort of like humans being butchered for meat. It was that sort of like generic sort of theming. And like I really enjoyed that one. It was really fun. It was really well themed. I think it must be up most of the year. but I was being a little bit silly. I remember at one point there was this like pig like hanging from the ceiling, and I went to kiss it, and the actor was like, "Don't kiss my pigs" or something. And I was like, "Sorry." And then like there was like skin like grafted on the wall and stuff. That was a really fun one, but the rest I thought were a bit naff. Like Sammy was different. She thought some of the ones that I didn't like were better than they were, so she was a bit more mixed bag, whereas I was a bit more negative towards it. But for what Doncaster did for those 5 mazes, like overall, they were so good. That new maze, like as much it was great. I can't remember what it was called though.
Friargate Foundry.
There we go.
Yeah.
As much as it was like theme, it was multiple themes within it. It made sense because it had the overarching sort of narrative from that character that they've made, who's like, I want to get all of your fears in a sort of like Monsters Inc. sort of way.
Yeah.
and it made sense because it's like, right, you're going to go through this and there's going to be loads of different things to see what really gets you. So anyone can go into it and they'll find something that they don't like.
Yeah,
and it worked
absolutely.
really well.
And I think with that one, it's say re-rideability, but it's not. It's re-mazability.
Yeah.
Because like we came out and some people we were with saw things that we didn't see because they were like dragged in different corridors and
the different routes
of it.
I didn't know
they got pulled away from us and then joined up again with us. Not for like a long time. But they were taken away.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And like, we've been to prison. I'm like, sorry, what? So
I remember the prison bit. I remember Sammy got taken into like the middle prison bit, and these guys were like coming for her. She's like, ah! And she just loses it a bit on those things. It was so fun. I'm so glad it's back, and I'm glad that 2 of the mazes are going. One of them was Pogo's, the clown one. I wasn't really mad for it. It didn't feel like scary. It was just a bit weird.
But I think I liked it because it wasn't scary.
Yeah.
It was like,
it was fun.
I think the order you do it in is...
Yeah, we had good fun
was
in
good.
there,
We did that
we?
in the middle, so it was sort of...
That was our last one.
That was like a little chill out.
So you've done Friargate already. And
yeah.
One thing I did notice, have you seen the advert they've released?
I'm not sure, actually.
And it's when they say there's 2 new mazes coming this year.
Yeah, so I was going to say the other one is the Chasm.
Chasm's
has
going.
gone, which I really liked. That was
that
was like the
the
underground
Chasm.
one. Yeah,
I chickened out of that one.
I really liked it. It felt very it felt very Doctor Who to me in a way because of all the masks that all the actors had on. They kind of reminded me of like Weevils from like Doctor Who and Torchwood and stuff. And it was nice that they had like proper masks on and it was so dark and stuff. And I remember I was filming myself with my GoPro. I had a light on myself, which made it harder because I couldn't see things. I had a light in my face the whole time. But like the reactions I got from it were so fun. And there was one bit where I was like, "Oh, someone touched my hair!" And like when I watched the footage back, you just saw this person come out and touch me and go back in, and it was great. And as much as I'm sad to see that one go, but you've got to change things to move forward, right?
Oh, absolutely.
If Friargate Foundry is where they're at, these 2 new ones are going to be better. And getting 2 new mazes in 1 year.
My worry is on that advert there was a chainsaw manual. No, I do not like
chainsaw manual.
So I think there's going to be a chainsaw maze.
Chainsaw maze.
I do not like
a whole
chainsaws.
maze of chainsaws. Oh my god!
I hate chainsaws.
To be fair, when they're coming at you with a bladeless chainsaw,
it doesn't do it for me.
It gets me as well.
It doesn't get me because I'm just like, there's nothing on it. Like, obviously they can't have a chain on it, but I'm just like,
you never know.
Yeah, my mind's too wired in I know that they can't touch me or harm me.
Yeah.
Or maybe they do touch you, but they're not going to physically hurt me. It's more just jump scares that get me.
Yeah.
Because that's the unexpected. When are they going to scare me? And that's what I like.
I literally hid behind you the whole way, didn't I?
See, I'm not great with jump scares, but if I can take that or coasters, I think being scared in that way is good. Because I know, I think for me, if I know that I can just sort of delay it coming, or if I can just prepare myself and then go through, that's good. On a coaster, you're just strapped in and you're going. If you're not ready for that bend or you're not ready for that dip, you're going to hit it, aren't you? So for me, that's the psychological.
Yeah.
I'm not strapped in.
It's the unexpected. That's what I like, and I want more of it. I think each year I want to do more and more scare attractions because it's just the unexpected, and that's the I feel like that's the thrill I need. I've done some ridiculous rides that have really pushed me to my limits, but it's the scare attractions just to feel it's a bit more accessible, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
And the scariest maze I've done was last year. It was at Tully's. I don't think you guys have been to Tully's.
No, I really want to go to Tully's.
Anyone who doesn't know, imagine a theme park, but instead of rides, it's just each one's a maze. There was it's just a whole setup. There must have been I think it's 14 mazes or something like that. And then there's different stages with bands playing. There's obviously different food vendors, and the atmosphere all around was great. It was just a scare maze theme park was the best way I could explain it. And one of them, I only learned recently that it's actually new for this year. A friend of ours, Danny, he works there. He's like one of the poster boys. He's on loads of the adverts, and he got me involved in one of the shows, and that was really fun. But he was saying that my favourite one is the new one. So it's called... What's it called? I don't know. I can't remember. It's
It's gone out your head.
It's gone. Basically, the premise is you can only go in groups of like 4 or less. So we were getting batched through really slowly. It was just Sammy and I was thinking, like, this is taking ages. We had 3 fast passes, and we used one of them for that and still had to wait like 15 minutes. So it was really slow. But people say it's really good. I remember Digital Dan saying it's really good. Like, definitely do it. I was like, okay. So we queued up fast track for that. As long as I said we get to the end, I realised it's 4 or less. She was like, 2 in your group, cool, yep. There's a timer, so you have to wait until the timer's up before you go through. And I was like, okay, cool, that's good. And we walked through this corridor, and I was like, what's going on? Nothing's happening yet. And then we get to someone else, and she goes, here's your lantern. Don't use any other phones or light sources. Off you go.
Yeah.
So you got this like electronic lantern, and you're walking into essentially... I wish I knew the name of it. It's really annoying. It's like an somewhat abandoned house that was in the middle of decorating. So imagine like sheets that have been thrown over stuff, and like you're walking through all these different rooms, but the magic of it is the lamp you've got, it changes each time you walk into a different room or area. So the flickering might be like quite constant, or it might be like once and then again. But the actors clearly know. The actors are staying in their rooms, and they know when it's going to go off. They obviously can figure out the timings and stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be like a pitch black room, and you're trying to navigate around, and you'll see like some sort of like nun in the corner. Light comes on again, they're in your face. And that absolutely got me.
It's not for me.
It was so good. Like, it's such a simple thing of just having those
Using
lights.
lighting.
Yeah. But having your own personal light, it was next level.
They're the ones that get me, the strobe ones.
Oh,
where every time you look, it's like, I'm getting disorientated. And not only that, I think it was, what was the one at Doncaster that had all was it the strobing church scene?
Oh, at the end,
Yeah.
we did that one first. That scene was amazing. You walk into this massive, like, sort of church room.
Oh,
There's the guy on the table. There was a guy stood up on the table. He had a split tongue. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't notice
His
that.
tongue was split, so it's all like that.
Every time I open my eyes, I'm like, there's people that's moving. And there's stuff everywhere here.
Yeah,
And it's just...
so imagine that, but a lot slower. Yeah. And every time the light comes on, someone's getting closer and closer to you.
You've
Petrified.
got horror at Hitchinbrook on your...
I have,
list,
yeah.
haven't you?
I was going to say, how far probably would you go? Like, would you do a NOLA level?
I'd like to. I've done similar stuff years ago where you have to sign a waiver, and I won't repeat bits that happened on it, but I'll tell a bit of an anecdote on it. Some bits are quite rude, so I won't go into that. But the final room, bearing in mind I didn't know it was the final room at the time. I don't know where it was either. It was somewhere in like the northwest, and this must have been between 2012 and 2016, if anyone can figure it out. Final room. I didn't know it was the final room. I'm strapped to this like table, and there's like a professor, and he puts this like weird stuff in my mouth. I'm guessing it was some sort of potion or chemical or something. And it was one of the worst things I've ever tasted. I was like, this is gross. So I was like, I swallowed it. I was like, oh, that's awful. And then eventually it unstraps me, or whatever the story was, and I leave. I leave this room, and it was the end. I didn't know it was the end. There's a bar. People are like watching people run out, and there's a bin in front of you. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, I'm supposed to spit in that. I was like, I've already swallowed it. And I didn't know.
Not for consumption.
No, but I did, and it was one of the worst things I've ever tasted. I have no idea where it was. I don't know what we were doing, but it was so fun.
It happened.
And it was great. So in terms of Enola and stuff, I'd like to, but my only worry is I know they'll like cut hair and stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm a lot of me is hair. I don't want to
It'd be the underwater stuff for me.
Don't you get...
Wait, what?
Yeah, apparently they can plunge you underwater. I think there's a toilet somewhere, and they can do a little...
Like a swirly?
Like a little head in.
Don't you have a word though that you can use to say
I know,
no
but
to
I'd just be using
certain
the word all the time. How do you know? Like, you don't want to use the word too early, do you? You
Yeah.
And then just be like, well, we're just getting started here.
But I think with that, like, I think I could do it. If I knew they weren't going to cut my hair, I could
Just
do it.
your
But
hair.
it's not scary, is it? It's almost bordering on, like, torture in a way.
Yeah.
And that's not going to scare me. It's not going to give me a thrill because I know they're not going to, like, actually kill me. If anything, I'd probably try and, like, spin it and play it on them. And, like, if I came out the toilet, I'd just be, like, limp. Yeah, as if they'd actually done it. They'd be like, oh, no. And I'd be like, no, it's fine, don't worry. So I don't think it would work for me, really.
Well, obviously, Halloween, a long time away. We've got a lot to happen before then.
Yeah.
Blackpool next week.
Yeah.
Are you going?
Yes.
Yes.
On Sunday.
Sunday. I don't know if we're going yet, are we? We're going to see what the weather's
Yeah,
like.
you are. You going?
Maybe.
There you are. Come on. It'll be fun.
Well, our problem is we went to the Pirate Takeover and it was so cold and the kids were just miserable.
Yeah.
So I think
Very
we're going to
miserable.
see what the weather's like.
Yeah.
We'd like to go, won't we?
Is it warmer or cold? It's probably colder in it on the coast.
Yeah, windier.
Windier.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get back. This close season has been so busy for us personally, and I can't believe they're opening again next week.
It's gone quite fast, hasn't it?
I feel like it has, because like Sammy's like moved into mine. There's been loads of work stuff. There's been personal stuff, like and family, and I'm just like, I had loads of plans for content, and I've just literally not had a chance. And like doing like band stuff as well, and it's just been so busy, and I'm just like, I can't believe it's back next week. I actually can't believe it.
Skyforce is closing this year.
Yeah, which
Have
is
you
a
been
shame.
on it?
I have.
How many spins have you had?
I think the max I've had on it is like 16 to 18.
That's good.
I'm all right on it. Yeah. Last time I did it, I wasn't that good. There's a certain like knack and technique. This is going back to the POVs, like watching Theme Park Worldwide. I was like, right, I think I get it, and then I did it, and I was like, yeah, I got it. I can't remember where I first did it, but yeah, I definitely can get a fair few out of it. Last time I did it wasn't that good, but I feel like it's decent in Blackpool because it is, with it being by the coast, it's quite windy.
Yeah.
So if you get it at the right time,
you
are going. Yeah. I think it was our friend Kate who was like, oh, this year was going to be the year that I was going to get loads of spins on it. So I think people are quite upset that it's closing. The rumour seems to be hotel stuff, like Blackpool are very big on hotels and other things they can offer, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I think it seems like they're going to do like a new hotel or an expansion there.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. And as much as it's sad that like there's rides being closed and stuff, like the Thompson Carousel, like my friend Becky, her granddad literally worked on it, so she's quite sad to see it go, and she's got loads of memories from it. And there's the music that you can hear from like the big ones, like Q Line and stuff. So I understand the sadness, but to be fair to Pleasure Beach, it's good that they're finally acknowledging. I thought your wristband was Dr. Eggman then. I thought it was a face with a big moustache. Sorry, so distracted. I feel like they've done well in the sense of they're acknowledging we know we need to move forward, therefore things are going to have to go.
Yeah.
That is going to have to happen, right? Obviously stuff like the Big Dipper can't because it's like listed, so we get that. But at least they communicated it.
Yes.
They've been so bad at that in the past. It's been like, do you remember the start of last season when Amanda did all those tweets being like, stop making rumours up about the PlayStation as you like to call it. Oh no, PlayStation or Ice Blast as you like to call it. You call it Ice Blast, that's what the park
The sign
calls it.
says.
Yeah, it was so weird. I think she needs like, the PR team needs to be like, stop.
Breathe.
Let us, post it, like talk to us about it first. So yeah, there's the swings and roundabouts to the announcement, but I think the fact that there is an announcement is good. Imagine rocking up next weekend and we go, what do you mean it's closed? What do you mean it's not opening?
A bit like last year.
Yeah, that would have been awful. So I'm grateful they've done that, and I'm excited to see what they announce, like what is going to replace that and
excited
stuff.
about the River Caves. I love the River Caves, and it's been closed for so long.
Yeah, I think I got it on the start of last season.
Yeah,
Was it open at the start of last season?
that we
Was
did
it
it?
not start of last season?
That's
Was
the
it
first time
end
I
I've
of
done
swear
it.
it was.
Yeah.
I swear it was open at the start of last season and then it closed, which was weird because I feel like if they were going to do like a refurb or something, would it? Excuse me,
It was,
sorry.
'cause Liam
Sponsored
Perry
by
was-
Pepsi Max cream soda. I thought if you're going to refurb it, wouldn't you just have it closed the whole year?
Yeah.
So that was a bit odd.
Yeah.
But I feel like they must have done a lot of work inside
It's
of
a
that.
great
It was
rider,
not
right?
looking well. There was some
No,
like
there was some
animatronics towards the
yeah.
end, like a snake that had half of its like skin missing.
So I took Andy on it. I think it was opening last year.
Mm.
It must have been.
I think it was.
And it's the
open,
first
yeah.
time he's ever been on it. So he goes on this little boat, and when we went into massive rooms, his face, he was like, where's this
So I'm trying to
come
picture
from?
where it is.
Yeah.
It's like Blackpool, so
It is weird,
strange.
isn't it? Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, where are these things?
We did. Oh, that's another event we did. We did go back to Halloween. We did Journey to Hell at Blackpool.
Oh yeah, I think
I'd
I saw a
heard-
video.
I'd heard negative things in the past, and basically the scare actors aren't actors; they're just staff from the park. So they weren't like the best at it. And some of them just broke character and were just saying like, "Oh, it's so quiet tonight." I'm like, "Yeah, it looks it." And I was like, "That's so weird for you to be telling me that." There's a guy who was dressed as a Viking, but then wasn't outside Valhalla. He was like further down towards Alice, and it was just a bit of a mishmash. But what was really weird was for we did River Caves, and it was in the dark, and nothing was on, and it was creepy. But there was no actors there. In the past, I think they've had actors in there, which is cool. Ghost Train. Same as always, but again, there was actors there, and there was one, I was like, there's going to be an actor on this bit, there's going to be an actor here. And there was, and it still got me. But the suspense worked really well. It was really fun. Like doing a dark ride with the actors in there hiding, especially one like Ghost Train. It was so good. And then there's like another maze, which brings me to your point of it was in like all the back inner tunnels and workings.
Oh, nice.
So around like Wallace and Gromit and like river caves and stuff. And because it was so quiet in there, you were waiting to get jump scared and stuff. You could hear other people being scared and stuff. Same with on Wallace and Gromit. I realised the reason there was nothing scary about it. There was no actors in there, but they didn't have any audio on, because if the audio was on, it would ruin the atmosphere for all the other rides. Yeah, it would totally kill it off. But it was really weird being on Wallace and Gromit, hearing people screaming. Like, it was not right. But it was really cool, and I would go back next year because it was such a unique thing.
I wanted to
Bit
do
spenny,
Blackpool announced for the fan club event to the event.
Oh yeah.
They were doing like the tour of the tunnels and stuff on there, and
It must be that. Yeah,
it was on the day of. Well, it was the day we were going down to Towers, wasn't it?
Yeah,
for opening.
Yeah, we were trying to
But
squeeze
it sold out in like
both in, weren't we?
It sold out so quickly.
Fun that they're doing that.
Yeah,
like...
we were going to go to Blackpool and then go from Blackpool to Towers on the Friday.
Yeah.
But we're just going to Towers instead, weren't we?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a really pivotal year for Pleasure Beach Resort, Lancashire, England. As some of their merch says. Yeah, it's really weird, but I feel like it's really pivotal. I think if they can get this right and get the announcements right and pricing and stuff, I feel like they can finally get back on track.
So if we're talking about pricing, what do you think about non-riders sort of tickets? Because they bought out for a limited time.
The season pass for non-riders. Yeah.
So I always think for Andy, something like that might
I know,
be
but
useful.
would that stop me trying to get on things then?
Yes.
So
they would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think
I'd sort of be in a bit of a limbo, but like I'd know that I wouldn't have to try and get on anything.
Yeah.
So
I wish it was just free entry throughout, because obviously they've still got the infrastructure. Yeah, they've still got the infrastructure per ride to do it like that. And I get that, but I also get why they wouldn't, because it's kind of like, as much as I hate having to pay for the toilets, I get it, because it's going to stop like vandalism and people being there that are just going to like mess about and cause havoc.
Chaos,
and it would ruin the vibe, but also I feel like they need that extra footfall, don't they? So it's a tricky one. It really is. But
one thing that really annoys me is having to scan your ticket.
Yeah.
Especially Valhalla.
Valhalla.
You don't want to take your phone on, but you need to scan it for your pass. Yeah.
I've not got NFC wristbands in
That'd be fun.
2025.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Tap,
you can get paper ones. Like if you go to guest services, you can get paper ones. But obviously,
if you go on rainy days,
crinkles
or in 5 minutes.
Yeah. So it's a difficult one. The pass for non-riders is definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
But I think it would be more. I can't imagine. I feel like more locals would do that. I can't imagine people like us traveling for an hour and a half to 2 hours to go and just walk around.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to go and do it properly, like yourself. You're going to try.
That's why Blackpool's quite good for you, because there is quite a lot you can go on.
Yeah, again,
it's a good mix there.
Yeah, it's a good mix. Again, I'm not sure what my levels are now at the minute. There, probably Nick Streak next. Avalanche, yeah.
Oh, Nick Streak's the next to do.
Well, Avalanche is definitely doable.
You've done the Blue Flyer.
That's in Blue Flyer's done now.
Yeah.
Good God, got that out of the way. Yeah, I think Avalanche and then possibly Nick Streak.
Did you hear about his Valhalla story?
No. Also, we were the last people to ride Valhalla last year. That was quite a fun claim to fame. I like that. What was your Valhalla story?
What was my Valhalla story?
So,
just the one where you
Andy
told me a lie.
Agreed. I did not lie. So the last time I went to Valhalla before this time was I'm talking about 13 years ago.
Oh, okay. So before refurb.
Yeah, it used to go backwards. And so my memory of Valhalla was quite tainted. And I said to Andy, come on Valhalla, it's just a little log flume. And he went,
little log flume.
He said,
okay.
Is there a big drop? I said, no, just 3 tiny drops.
To be fair, I don't know why I didn't actually look at the building. And
it's pretty big.
Why is it so high?
Yeah.
Just
we're going up the last lift hill. And Andy's like, it's going up really, really high. I'm like, no, it's not. It only goes down a little bit on the other side. We're going up and up and up. Yeah.
Did you get wet?
Yeah. That was the least of my problems.
You celebrated with a pint of Loki's afterwards,
I
didn't
did.
you?
It was that drop. Because I wasn't expecting it, obviously. I was expecting it by the time I'd gone up Lift Hill.
Yeah, yeah.
What goes up
Must come
must
down.
come down.
Yeah.
But it was like, because obviously you've not got a bar, have you? You have got a bar, haven't you? What have you got?
No,
There's no
no.
bar, is there?
Just a
No,
seat.
Hold on to
you
a
can
bar.
get airtime on that
Yeah.
if you're unlucky.
Well, that was it.
Yeah.
So I'm holding the bar, because I hear someone going, oh, because it's dark, obviously.
Yeah.
Weren't we on the back as well?
Oh.
Don't know. I
I'm
can't
sure
remember.
we're on the back.
I remember just holding the bar,
Right.
and it sort of drops in 2 stages, doesn't it? So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, yeah.
down, down. And I was just like, whoa. But I was like flying forward. I was like coming out my seat, like tipping it. I felt like we're tipping over the
Do
front.
you know what was really funny that time as well? We actually got the Ring of Fire, but you've got no recollection of the Ring of Fire, have you?
No, I do
Or do
actually.
you?
Yeah, I do.
At the time,
yeah.
you're like, what
yeah.
fire?
And the hammer.
Oh.
Everything was working.
Everything
which,
was
which was
working.
good because I don't
We
fall
had
it
a
back
really
on
good
again.
run.
The perfect run through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, Blackpool's next week, you're going Sunday.
Yes.
Good night to you.
I want to do Blackpool. I want to do Valhalla with you now. I really want to go on it.
We
The
hold
thing-
his hand.
I'm not really. Yeah, of course I would. I'm not really like massive. The only reason I'm not massively into water rides is because I just don't want to be really wet in
Yeah.
England. It's
Yeah.
just not right
It's
for
not
it.
fun, is it?
But I love Valhalla's drop so much that I'll bring like my trunks. Like I fully get changed and
Flip flops.
I go for it. Yeah, like Crocs, trunks, sports top. I'm like, yeah, let's go, and I fully embrace it. But every other water ride, I'm like, yeah.
It's such a good ride.
Have you done Rugrats before there? The
Oh,
little
I
log
did
flume?
it. I did it.
That's a soaker. It's crazy.
I mean,
Honestly.
that's now my level.
Genuinely, like
I've done
I've
Valhalla.
got just as wet on that before.
Mm.
Not just as wet, but wetter than you think for
Yeah.
like a kid's log flume.
We took the kids for Ella's birthday, and no one would go on it, so I went.
Ella
on it by-
tried,
I went
but
on it by myself.
Failed.
Yeah.
So she did a me.
It's such a long ride, though,
Just
right?
like a dad. Oh,
Like I went, and it seemed to take about 5 hours before.
Yeah.
that lift hill is slow.
Yeah.
Takes
I've seen people
forever.
waiting for ages at the bottom
I
until it finally gets
gets up and
Well, I was
Yeah.
filming you. I'm like, she's here now. She's coming over the
Just
top
take a
now.
while
It's like,
to-
no, it's not.
yeah.
Just someone else. It's just an empty
Oh,
one flying
I got
past.
soaked on it. But another wet one at Blackpool is the SpongeBob ride where you
Yeah.
squirt
Oh.
the.
Yeah, I've been off
Yeah.
ride doing that. I've not been on it yet.
You'll get soaked.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, I would take a poncho.
Yeah.
You always feel bad squirting like an old man. Just walking past.
I'm not bothered. I'm like, you're on it. I'm here. Let's go.
So
Right.
Like,
the first time we went on it, I was like trying to work out how the gun works. Not even set off yet, so I'm like this with my gun,
yeah.
not looking at the actual gun. And this old man was stood watching one day, and this water was just. I'm so sorry.
Oh. They've got one of those at Rulantica, Europa Park's
Yeah,
water
yeah, yeah.
park, and it's outside, and it makes sense because everyone's like, it's a warm country, everyone's in swimwear already.
Yeah.
Perfect time to do what is it? Not a splash battle, but whatever that is, whatever that model is, like perfect place for it.
Well, that's the thing
Yeah,
about
it's
Valhalla.
Country.
Like, for opening and closing, it's like the worst ride.
Yeah,
If it's opening, it's
always
it's gonna be
cold.
cold,
Probably like 5 degrees next weekend.
and then
Yeah.
closing,
It's
it's
meant to
cold.
be really
So
windy.
it's more of a,
as
I-
well.
it's
But I still do it because, like I say, I love
Mm.
those drops. I think it's so fun.
It's good fun. It's
Yeah,
good fun.
it's
How are
great.
you feeling about Toxicator?
Really excited.
Oh no.
It looks fun. What, are you not? Are you not?
No, I think it's great. It's coming back. It looks amazing, but I don't like top spins. I didn't like Ripsaw.
I
It's-
don't think I ever did Ripsaw.
Did you not?
No, which is a shame.
One thing I did read about it this morning actually was the fact that there's no family ride in Forbidden Valley, and when it's so far from everywhere else in the park, and as a mother, I sort of get where people are coming from because I know it's sort of a grown up area.
Is Galactica not technically a family ride? It's the height, I guess, isn't
It
it?
can't get Ella on
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah,
say,
it would be
say
considered
you
family. Yeah.
say you and Isaac are off on Nemesis.
Mm.
What do I do with Ella in that area?
Yeah, that's
You
a fair
know.
point.
Yeah.
I guess with the blade, you might have been able to.
Yeah. She was tall enough for the blade, so
Mm.
if
Bit
you're
of extra.
there with a family and the dad and the elder child goes on something, mum is then stuck with little
Mhm.
child
Yeah.
in that area, I'd have to go to. Well, she can't even get a mine train now, can she? Because they've changed the
Yeah.
height on that.
Oh yeah, they did.
So you'd have to probably go back to Mutiny Bay to get her on something.
Yeah.
So I think it's missing something for them kids that are not quite big enough for the 1.4.
I was going to say equally, you could say the same about X Sector, but then again, I guess that's
CBeebies.
everything's
next
close
door.
by. Yeah, I see what you
Yeah.
mean. Forbidden Valley is the sort of boot, isn't it? It's like the Cornwall of the UK. It's like right at the end, just out of the way. So yeah, I get that.
So I just feel it could do with something.
I mean, it is, well...
I guess it also wouldn't really... I mean, based on, like, the theming, it is, like, a thrilling area, just from the theming.
No, but if you go to
But
that... I know
what you
Paulton's
mean.
is a kid's park, but if you go to, like, Paulton's and... What's the dinosaur area called?
Oh, Lost Kingdom.
Lost Kingdom.
Yeah.
And you've got Flight of the...
Oh, pterosaur.
I call it Petersaur.
Yeah. I see what you're getting at. And then the
you got Flight of
boomerang.
Pterosaur, you got
then-
Boomerang. Ella won't go on that, but then they've got Little Egg Ride in the middle, and she looks
That
like...
egg ride
Yeah, I
is
did
great.
that, yeah. The coaster as well, that little
Little
dino
coaster.
coaster. My
Yeah.
100, that was supposed to
Yeah,
be
she loved that egg ride.
I
Something
love
like
that egg
that.
ride.
Little Nemesis eggs that spin around.
Even I hear little
she's
spinning
been
around.
That's a
around.
fair point, actually. That's a really good point.
Doesn't have to be anything extravagant.
And I could safely say now, I don't think you will get that now.
No,
There's nowhere to
there's
put
nowhere
anything.
to put it.
No.
Yeah.
I was going to say that at Towers, though, like the sky ride coming back does make it a little bit easier.
True.
So you can just jump on the
True.
sky. You still got to go to the sky ride station.
I'm so
Yeah,
excited
but
to
you
have
would
the
be
sky ride
separating the family still, wouldn't you? So I
Yeah.
understand what you mean. You'd rather go like, right, we're going to go to Fibden Valley, we can split up and do our own thing, and then we'll go to the next area.
Yeah.
But you can't do that now, can you?
No. Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
There's something I read online. And I thought, do you know what?
That is a good point.
I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am excited for Toxicator. To look at it.
To look at it.
It's going to be great. I can't wait to film it. I think it's going to look really cool.
Looks like there's screens on it as well.
It looks like the screens in those sort of silos,
Yeah.
which I imagine is going to be tied in with the fountains and obviously the
Bubbly.
ride cycling. It's going to be like bubbling over or down and leaking and stuff. But Coaster Tog did a reel on it yesterday, and he mentioned
I
how
saw.
it's interesting because I watched Theme Park Worldwide's video, and they were saying, I don't think you're going to get wet because it's affected maintenance of the old one.
Mm-hmm.
But then in Coaster Tog's reel, I said to him, good work, detective, because it was very smart of him. He said he noticed that on some of the shots you can see water coming off the gondola, off the seats, so it must get
Wet.
wet at some point. Yeah. But then
Part
equally,
of the fun though, right?
yeah, as long as it's not too much, I think it'll be fun. But then he also noticed that there's green slime painted on and within the tunnel.
So the theming of the green.
It's going to carry on, yeah. So the idea is you walk underneath it and it's going to be like dripping and stuff. And
Hopefully no one's sick when they're on it.
protein spill. Yeah. That's what Bianca calls it, a protein spill.
It's like painted it green, isn't it?
That's fun, yeah. I'm really excited to do it. It's frustrating that people have been negative about it, but it's a step in the right direction. And I can only
Absolutely.
assume next year we'll get more flats. Because now we need one in Dark Forest and one in X Sector.
X Sector, definitely.
Some of the criticism was that it doesn't fit in with like Forbidden Valley.
In what way?
I think they just think black and
It can't be
red.
black and red again.
Again.
I think a lot of
Too much
people
fucking
said it's better suited for X Sector because it's got the yellow and black, like
But I think
contagious.
That's just like a warning thing. And
Yeah,
also you
Yeah.
can colour it anything to fit anywhere. So I think it's kind of
Yeah.
irrelevant. It fits in with Forbidden Valley because of the story. The fact that it's like mixing the saliva from the Nemesis
Yeah.
creature, I believe is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that fits in. You can fit it anywhere as long as you have the right story and colours and stuff. So I don't think it's relevant. You can put it in Dark Forest and put trees around it and then you say, oh, it fits into Dark Forest.
What doesn't fit in is Galactica.
Yeah. I mentioned this in a video I was recording this morning. It's the elephant in the room, isn't it, at this point?
Yeah, something needs doing, but Merlin.
I assume it's budget-wise, which again ties into the video I was doing this morning. I assume it's
Yeah.
just cuts from Merlin and like, we can't retheme it right now.
No.
Apparently, I wasn't there for the Phalanx Expo. Were you guys there?
Yes.
We were in Spain, but apparently there was lots of rumours and suggestions within the presentation that seemed to allude to Galactica being rethemed. Can you confirm or deny?
I heard this. I didn't see. I heard the rumor.
So was it not specific? Was there nothing specifically that seemed to insinuate it in the?
I think someone mentioned there was like, I think it was like the space and the flying elements just of the show.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Which would tie in with Galactica being like a flying ride.
Maybe they're
Yes.
going to announce it at the end or something, like on the Sunday night. But that's when they did Toxicator.
I wouldn't
didn't
say
they?
there's anything obvious,
Okay.
No.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I might have misunderstood bits
Yeah.
then.
Unless I was just in my own little world watching Pretty Fireworks.
Based on like rumours of it being rethemed, I thought they'll close it down. It'll be rethemed this year, like recoloured, themed, etc. And that's why Toxicator's there this year, because then it'll take in the capacity that it would be missing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
which
thought
would make
that would be why.
But
It
if
still
we-
can, obviously, like it's there now, but I imagine it's just budget cuts that have stopped
If
it.
we're looking at the state of Merlin at the moment, it's not looking likely that
No.
I mean, even
anything's going to be
a
done. is it?
repaint costs millions, apparently.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
few million.
What
Yeah.
So it's not really, yeah.
So
Even
whilst we're on Forbidden Valley, lack of entertainment possibly.
Gutted. Yeah. So the investigation, the new sort of video I was doing this morning was about how I think towers will be worst affected by the cuts from Merlin.
Mhm.
And one of the big points I made was the entertainment team. Because you look at the other Merlin parks, they don't have the sort of roaming street actors and stuff. And it's been such a pivotal part of the park last year, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like
I
did
agree.
the Pirate Takeover last year, and it was so fun having like actors everywhere with the little pop-ups and walking about and stuff. And I like the way I explained it. I remember saying to Bianca, like, please carry this on in each area because it's so good.
It works.
And we didn't get in every area, but we got it in obviously with Gloomy Wood with Curse.
Yeah.
New for that year, made sense. And then with Nemesis this year, like again, carried on, that made sense. And the way I've likened it is you can have a house, but it's not like a home until it's lived in.
Yeah.
And I feel like it really brought everything to life.
Yeah,
And just
even-
extended the stories of everything. Like Nemesis, like there were so many different characters around Forbidden Valley. It was just so alive, and people believed it. People thought the protesters were real.
Yeah.
And I know the entertainment team got a lot of slack from people who thought they were real, and they would get, awful stuff from just the general public, which is awful. Like I obviously don't condone that at all, but I'm just really sad to see stuff potentially being cut. It's really,
It's sad,
really brought it
isn't
to
it?
life. What other parks do that? Have like
Oh, yeah.
roaming characters and actors like that?
I used to love going into Forbidden Valley, and the man comes up to you, goes, "Have you seen my bus? Have you
Yeah.
seen my bus?"
It's
And
so fun.
it really brought you into that area, and
Massively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll miss it.
With someone like me who's not riding the coasters as well, it's like you're still involved with the whole
Yeah.
area as
Yeah.
well.
So you're not riding
So,
Intoxicator because
yeah.
like yourself and Isaac are doing like, or maybe yourself and Isaac are doing big boy rides and you're with Ella, like not doing
Yeah, I
stuff.
think that's more likely.
But you can still interact with
Yeah,
characters and
with
stuff.
people. Yeah, so I will
it's
miss
a
it.
shame, isn't
It
it?
is.
Even
it really
Wicker
is.
Man had some characters in it as
I
well.
never got to see the Beyond.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I
Sometimes.
never saw them.
Yeah,
It came
But I
with
know
the
they
big.
existed with the
Yeah.
big drum.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Proper ritualistic, really ties in with like Wicker Man and what
Yeah.
it's bringing. Like makes so
It
much
works.
sense. I'm genuinely gutted. I remember for the Festival of Thrills when it was the Smiler takeover and they had like Ministry of Joy agents walking
Oh,
around,
down in next
briefcase,
sector.
yeah, like it was smoking and stuff. Again, super fun,
Yeah.
and it would have been nice to see that carried on. And we didn't. I heard rumors about stuff with like Deep Forest and like the Wraiths as well, maybe walking about. Again, that would have been creepy. Wouldn't really work with Rita because they kind of obviously shooed the whole night in when 13 came in.
Yeah.
But still, the premise of it all was fantastic, and I can't think of any other park
Who doesn't
that would
like
have
that?
roaming actors like that.
No.
I know you get like obviously the IP stuff at Universal and Disney, and their characters from the IPs, but they're not.
It's different, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think the thing with Alton Towers is like they've got Forbidden Valley, they've got the whole story of Nemesis that they've just made.
yeah,
And,
it's original.
yeah. And I think that works really well.
yeah.
But like you
Yeah.
said, Disney, it's just I like it, but it's just Cinderella or
Mhm. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it's like-
add. It doesn't add anything.
no
It is essentially just like a.
little girls seeing princesses.
It's like a. It's a memory, isn't it? Which is good, and it's
Yeah.
also a photo opportunity if you are queuing up to then like get photos with them and stuff. But having like the actors walking around in Forbidden Valley, it's then adding onto the theming, onto the narrative, onto the lore, which then extends further into like the story, like the food, like themed food, and into like the merch as well. Like it just
yeah.
delivers it all.
It does.
We're gonna lose like a really special part that just kept the whole place alive.
And are
Which
you
really sad.
Merlin pass holder?
Hmm.
Yeah. So what do you think about the cuts to sort of like sea life and
Shame.
potentially?
Yeah, it's a shame, but I'd rather see stuff like Sea Life cut or well sold if it's going to help benefit the parks. But that's me being selfish because
Yeah,
I
no.
have it for parks. Yeah, I've been to like dungeons and Sea Life centers and Man and Two Swords and stuff, but they're not the reasons why I have a.
A pass.
Yeah, but then again, I understand. I say that I'm going to Sea Life tomorrow, but it's. I imagine it would be different again from a family perspective, like you said before. Like, in close season, you'll go do all these other things.
Yeah.
And that will be worse. But then again, I think very simply, I'd say quality over quantity.
They
Yeah.
do have a lot of attractions. I think I looked the other day. I think it's like 120.
Too many,
It's a
isn't
lot.
it? Realistically, like it clearly is too many because
Yeah.
they can't handle it.
We got a trip to Cadbury World on the way to Paulson's.
You did,
Yes, that was a lot. Have you been?
I have.
Lots of fun.
Went before the new ride was there,
Oh,
so I've not done it yet.
do you
The ride's
know,
good.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Is
that.
it a shooter? Or have I made that
It's a
up?
shooter.
It is interactive.
Trackless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's trackless as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's really fun. Ella liked drawing with the chocolate, didn't she?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Everyone's done that. Everyone does the channel name in that bit.
Yeah.
I saw the photo. I was like, I've done that. Everyone does that.
And my favourite bit was the hot chocolate you get. Do you know the melted chocolate?
Oh, when you can put like Oreos and fudge and stuff. Yeah, that was good.
Which I was quite surprised on the way in. Do you know you get given like your chocolate bars and stuff? We got a big dairy milk each
Did you?
on the way in.
We didn't
They had
get.
stacks of it, didn't they?
We got a few different bars, but apparently it then did become less
Yeah.
at some point.
So we got
But you got a massive bar of like dairy
massive
milk.
bar of dairy milk
full-size
each.
bar.
And then we got something later on after the ride as well, didn't we?
Well, I think that was it. I
Yeah.
think they reduced some of the bars at the front because they would give you one after you've been on that ride. Apparently.
Yeah, so we
what I
got one
heard.
after the ride, but we got the big bar when we went in.
Yeah.
I was like, brilliant. So we got four, because of four of us.
Plus a shop
Bobby.
as well, which is dangerous.
Oh,
Yeah.
so much money.
Fun fact: first time I went to Cadbury World with my friend from primary school, Phil Grundy, and his family. Back when I was like under 11, got to the gift shop and I just threw up everywhere.
Oh,
The smell was so overwhelming, I just threw up. And then when I went last year, I didn't do the same thing.
Did you go on the 4D cinema?
Yeah.
Andy was not expecting a roller coaster.
Oh, it's like
like the VR.
again.
He's like,
Yeah, good.
"Whoa."
How sultry is that caramel rabbit?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
She's a bit too like sexy.
For a
It's really
family-
weird.
We had this
Yeah.
family
conversation
venue.
and Ella
Don't
was-
do that, Fredo. And I'm just like, what? It's so weird.
She's at the end as well in the shop. She's laid there like this. She's like, oh, look, I do this.
I don't remember.
She's laid there, but she's got like little
So weird.
bunnies
Ella
just
was
like
kissing
laid
her,
on
wasn't
her.
she?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit strange, I think that.
So, Blackpool, Alton Towers, what else have you got planned with your year?
We've got something between the two, which is Efteling.
Hey,
Nice.
you've had no idea.
I accidentally told you everything before. I have never been, but it's been in like my sort of top 5 European like bucket list.
It's my
for
bucket list
a
park.
long time. It was like I think it was like Portaventura, Energylandia, Fantasyland, Europa Park, and Efteling. So I'm Energylandia just because of Zardra,
Yeah.
and then the rest were just as they are. I did Europa, Fantasyland, and Portaventura last year. Had a great time, and I had 5 days of holiday brought over from last year that I didn't use, and I have to use them before the end of March. And it was trying to find the right time to like use them. And Sammy was like, "Let's go to Efteling. It's always open. We can go in March. It's a bit warmer, hopefully, but also just about avoid half term." She's like, "It'll be really quiet.
yeah.
We'll get like 2 full days and like another half
You
day."
smash everything out.
And I'm so excited. Not just because of how much I love it, and then I love it, how much I love going to a new park and obviously exploring it, but just getting to film it as well. I really enjoy that and just
Yeah.
capturing it. So I'm super excited for that. But also to do something else. Oh, that was it. So yeah, sorry, that's the point I'm making. So as much as I know the water coaster is going to be closed, which is a shame, but obviously we'll go back at some point. But just exploring everything and
Finding new things.
yeah, there's the whole like sort of fantasy forest bit, which apparently can take ages as well. Obviously, there's so many key rides that I've heard loads about, like the theme in the narrative, the magical essence and beauty throughout it all. But it's the Sam when Sammy, we literally spoke about it last night. She was saying like, "Oh, you're not going to get on all the coasters." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm a theme park fan." Sorry, that was a very convoluted way for me to get to that. I'm a theme park fan. I'm excited to explore this theme park. It's not just about all the coasters,
rides.
it's everything else.
Yeah.
And I'm so ready. I'm so excited.
So
I can't
I'm
wait.
so excited for you. It's one we want. I think it'd be a really good park to take Andy to because there's a lot of flats there, a lot of darks.
Yeah, definitely.
Apparently, the Efteling videos do really well, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently they do,
I've seen a lot of people do really well with them, and there's been some beautiful stuff come out of it. So I'm really excited to bring my take on it and the detective take on it and see how I can present it as well, which I'm quite excited for equally.
Excited
Like,
for
It does look very
Dance Macabre?
photogenic. isn't
Yeah,
it?
massively. Yeah, like having like a proper like spooky gothy ride.
Yeah.
I've seen like loads of merch as well. Like we have decided we're gonna pay to take a case that's empty.
So you can buy loads of
Just
stuff.
to bring stuff back. And funnily enough, the case we're gonna take is one I bought when I was in Orlando last time to bring stuff back with because we'd filled it up. So
That's such a good idea.
yeah, we decided we'll do that. It makes more sense than trying to squeeze everything into my rucksack because whenever I go abroad for like these sort of short distance flights like mainland Europe, I always have to pay extra for my bag because my camera bag is like a full-on
Takes up
rucksack because I've
most.
got everything in it. Yeah, because I've got like all my batteries and other little bits and stuff, all the camera gear. And then I have like another bag that's just clothing. So I don't pack just as I am. I always need all the extra stuff as well, which I don't mind. Like I'm paying like an extra, 20 quid per flight, I think it is usually.
It's not
But I'm
too
like,
bad.
I don't mind because I'm like, well, I get to create and I get to do it the way I do it with my DSLR and do it all like properly. Like I know I've got my phone, but again, lots of other people shoot on their phones and like I do video for a living, so it makes sense to do it properly and
Yeah.
and I love that. I love that I can capture that.
Mm.
And I hope in like again the long run people recognize that and they go, oh, they like the quality of the videos, like in the shots that I'm getting and obviously the production value of it all. It does take longer to do, but I think it's worth it. I just get very tired.
You
It's a lot of
said that
effort.
it's like one day.
Yeah, I just feel like we said earlier, like the vlogging side is good. But I feel like you do need to enjoy the personality
Mm,
because when you've been at Pirate Takeover and then you see the same videos and it's the same 10 videos basically of we did this, we did that. Here's the show
yeah.
in the middle.
What can you do differently?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like
You're,
just
you-
make it. Yeah, I mean, like vlogging is good. But I feel like we aren't really vloggers, are we? We're more just we'll do the Instagram stuff, which is what we started with.
Like we do our YouTube videos, but it's more just like
Yeah.
a diary of our day and like
It's more what happened with not much dialogue, isn't it,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I try and present it in a very sort of cinematic way, but with the branding. But the way I always look at it is I'm not going out to film. I'm going out to have fun and do our thing and enjoy our day, our trip, our visit. But I happen to have my camera
yeah.
and capture everything.